A few days before Christmas, a big snowstorm arrived on the island. While it was usual for that time of year, it would bring harsh conditions, and every engine knew it. Before long, they all had snowplows on, and began their new duty of clearing the tracks. But as snow continued to fall, and the piles continued to get thicker and thicker, the engines found the snow harder to clear than ever. They had soon discovered that it was difficult to get coaches and trucks out of the shunting yards, and that the rails were slippery, which could cause accidents. So Topham Hatt, having witnessed these issues, opted to purchase a new piece of machinery that would be very helpful indeed. One morning, Gordon was puffing into the station. As he did, Philip rushed up to him.
Gordon! Don't go to the station!
Why ever not?
There's a huge monster there. I mean huge, with big scary teeth. It looks like it eats engines.
Don't be ridiculous, Philip. I'm sure it's not that scary. But Gordon was surprised when he saw what was at the station. Indeed, it was a huge machine. What is this doing here? Shh, whispered Hunter. So Topham Hatt's going to tell us now. I would like everyone to meet Dustin, our new rotary snowplow, said Sir Topham Hatt. Dustin's blades in the front help to clear the line of snow, and he does it much faster than regular snowplows. Everyone was very impressed, except for Gordon. Henry, James, and Edward shall try out Dustin on their trains today, and if all goes well, tomorrow Donald, Douglas, and Gordon shall have their chances to use it. Gordon was speechless and let off steam angrily. Sir Topham Hatt's hat nearly blew away. I will not use this vile thing, he proclaimed. How dare you bring this newfangled nonsense here after what you did to my machine? Gordon, I'm sorry, but it was broken and out of date. We all have to move on sometimes. Regardless, just like everybody else, you'll be expected to help trial Dustin no matter what. And with that, he walked away, much to Gordon's displeasure. Dustin frowned as Henry backed down with him onto his train. Don't worry about Gordon, soothed Henry. He's always arrogant. The big plow smiled, but quickly frowned again. The guard blew his whistle, and Henry puffed away. Before long, it was clear that Dustin was indeed a big help. He cleared snow off the line easily, and Henry was very impressed. Not only did they race through large drifts, Dustin's tender was also filled with salt, enough to coat the rails so they wouldn't be slippery. They soon arrived at Edward Station. Henry dropped off his train and went to rest. It was now James's turn to use the machine. As he was waiting for Gordon to rush by with the express, he spoke with Dustin, who was feeling better after a long run. I loved your railway, he said. It's like my old home. Everywhere I go, snow is about. That's why you're so important. Our snowstorms just keep getting worse and worse, and this one's no different, said James. Suddenly, a booming whistle was heard. Gordon rushed by with the express. He went so fast he blew snow onto Dustin and James. Clear that, you silly machine, chortled Gordon. Your smoke box is the only thing that needs clearing here, Gordon, returned James. Don't worry too much about him, Dustin. He's just too big for his wheels. Dustin smiled, but he still felt rather sad. James, frustrated at his ruined paintwork, rumbled all the way to the workstation. Before long, they had arrived, and he parked Dustin in the siding and went for his next train. Dustin was still unhappy, as Edward came up to him. My, Dustin, what's the matter? He asked. You look like something's caught your blades. It's nothing, just... Gordon's been rude to me all day. He did it at the station this morning, and when James was about to leave. I wish I knew why he hated me so much. Don't worry about Gordon, soothed Edward. He always thinks he's right, but we know he simply isn't. I've known him for many years, and I know full well he'll learn his lesson. Do you think so? Wait and see. Dustin felt better after that. But wait, Edward! Yes? What does he have against me? Dustin questioned. Why does he dislike newfangled nonsense? Ah, well, back in the day, he had a machine of his own, one just like you, in fact. He always felt like the pride of the line using it. But then last year, it broke down. Gordon expected Sir Topham Hatt to fund its repair, but as it seems, he bought you instead. I'm sure he'll warm up to you soon, said Edward. Now come on, We've got work to do. Right you are, Dustin smiled. Throughout the rest of the day, Edward and Dustin helped to clear shunting yards and branch lines. By evening, Sir Topham Hatt was filled with nothing but praise for Dustin. You have been very helpful and efficient today. I know you will do a fine job tomorrow, too. Thank you, sir. The next morning, it was Christmas Eve, and Dustin was collected by the Scottish twins. They were to take a train to the station at the end of the line, and on their way, leave Dustin in the siding to be picked up by Gordon. When they left, Dustin waited in the siding. Then, he heard Gordon's whistle. But instead of stopping, he seemed to race right through.
Gordon, wait!
But Gordon was gone. Dustin asked the yardmaster why Gordon didn't pick him up. Let me phone the station master. He would know. He went to his office and returned promptly. Gordon threw a fit about taking you again, so unfortunately, Sir Topham Hatt decided to give in. You'll be stuck here until Christmas is over, I'm afraid. Now Dustin was more upset than ever. He sat all alone in the siding for the rest of the day, watching the other engines finish their jobs. He'd never felt more discarded. That evening, the snow picked up once more, and piles had begun to block the line near Crovan's Gate. There, Gordon waited impatiently for help. Beside him were worried passengers, hoping to return home in time for Christmas and attend the annual party at the big station. I can't get through all the snow on my own, I'll need help. I wish I still had my machine. Oh, get over it, Gordon, said his driver. And if I recall correctly, the only snow clearing option you have is Dustin. He's just on the line, and he's close enough to be reachable in these conditions. Surely they have a snowplow. No chance. We've dished them all out already due to the storm, added the station master. Gordon looked at the worried passengers and at Dustin through the storm. Oh, fine, I'll take him, he sighed. Let's hope we can get down the line to collect him before he's buried in snow. Gordon pushed through the storm. By the time he reached Dustin, they both looked like as though they were made of snow.
Gordon?
Dustin shivered.
What are you doing out here?
You need to help me get back to the big station. Dustin was fed up at this.
You expect me to help you back after how you've treated me?
He snapped.
After you left me out here in the cold? Why would I ever want to help you?
Gordon considered for a moment. I'm sorry, Dustin, he began. I know I've been rude to you, but these passengers need to get home. They're going to miss the Christmas celebrations. The snow's too thick for me now to help them on my own. Dustin, I really need your help. If not for me, for the passengers. Dustin realized Gordon was being sincere.
Well then, he sighed, let's get going. We haven't got a moment to spare.
Gordon smiled. Before long, Dustin was attached in front of Gordon, and once the guard blew his whistle, he hauled away into the storm. They raced across the slippery rails and fought through the snow. They were trying to make up for lost time. Snow drenched them in white. As they came to the hill, Gordon tried as hard as he could to get up. His wheels slid and his axles ached. It was hard work.
Come on,
encouraged Dustin.
You've got this.
It's the ice, struggled Gordon.
It's too slippery. Don't worry, I've got plenty of salt.
And Dustin began to dispense it. Gordon was aghast. It suddenly became easier. He started to cheer. Yes, we're doing it! My old machine could never have done that. Dustin felt very proud. Finally, through much effort, they reached the top of the hill. It was much easier after that. At the big station, all the engines were worried. Where is Gordon? Asked Thomas.
I hope he's all right,
worried Percy. Serves him right for covering Dustin and I in snow yesterday, James added. Then suddenly, a whistle sounded out in the distance.
Do you hear that?
Philip looked into the distance.
Look, everybody, it's Gordon,
He cried.
and the monster! Eek!
That's not a monster, said Edward. It's Dustin. There, tired but triumphant, was indeed Gordon and Dustin. Everyone at the station cheered. Dustin smiled broadly. Behind him, all of the passengers poured out of the coaches and hugged their families. Not only that, but Gordon had been carrying none other than Santa Claus himself. The families all gathered around and caroled merrily. The engines, too, were delighted to see each other once more. Edward addressed Gordon directly. I see you loosened up with Dustin, Gordon. Yes, Edward, he was terrific. You were right, admitted Gordon. I may have lost my old machine, but it doesn't mean that I have to avoid the new one. Edward smiled and enjoyed the festivities. The engines were having a wonderful time. But soon, the festivities came to an end, and Gordon helped Dustin to a siding under a shed. Thank you, Dustin. I'm sorry for doubting you. Without you, we never would have made it up the hill, much less out of Crovan's Gate. Thank you, Gordon, replied Dustin. I'm glad we're friends. Gordon smiled and puffed away. Dustin sat alone. As he drifted asleep in the cool, quiet night, he dreamed of all the engines and his wonderful Christmas time on Sodor. Indeed, he spoke softly to himself, I'm lucky to have such wonderful friends.